Hi, how is everyone? You doing good? Doing good? Yeah? Have a good week? Yeah? Kind of forgot to ask you that last week. I'm sorry. Oops. I have my moments too. I don't remember everything. So, hope that you can forgive me for not remembering to ask you about your week and if you had a good week. And we'll find out why it's important to forgive people. hmm Being merciful, being forgiving. Let's see this. Let's see what we're going to learn about. I have something cool here. I have this little whiteboard. I'm sure you've seen whiteboards before. In school, we have some. I don't know. Okay, I could write my name on this whiteboard. My name is Miss Nikki. Miss Nikki. Or Mrs. Kratzer. Whatever. I prefer Miss Nikki. I have other names too. I have a name called Grandma. And I have a name called Mom. Mom. So I have lots of names. I even have a name called Sister. I have a brother. So I have different names. But for most people, I prefer to be called Miss Nikki. Yep. And you know what? I wrote all my names on this board, and I can take my eraser and I can erase all that I wrote. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah? Okay. What if I did some naughty things today? Like, could have pushed my brother. I didn't. But what if I did? Pushed my brother. What if I pulled on a cat's tail? Oops, I spelled tail wrong. Hope you can forgive me. Let me fix the word tail. There we go. Tail. I didn't pull the cat's tail. And she's right. I don't have a cat. I used to have a cat, but I don't have a cat. Okay. What if I spilled my juice and blamed my brother? So what if I spilled my juice and blamed my brother? What if I did all these naughty things today? What if I did all those naughty things? All the bad and naughty things I did today, I wrote down. Okay? Let's suppose that's all I did today. But you know, I got thinking about what I did. It wasn't nice to push my brother, and it's not nice to pull on the cat's tail. And it's certainly not nice to blame others for things. Hmm. Hmm. Maybe you should pray about it. Tell Jesus I'm sorry. Jesus, I'm really sorry. I should be nice to others. I shouldn't blame them for things that they didn't do, things that I did myself. And I should be kind to my animals too. I should be a better person. And I'm really sorry. And you know what? I feel really sorry. And when I'm really sorry and I tell Jesus what I did wrong, it's just like He erases it and makes it all gone. It's all gone. When I'm really sorry. and I pray about it. And then it makes it all go away. So that's a lot of what our story is about today. So listen, God wants us to forgive other people the way He forgives us. God, okay. He forgives us. If someone takes your toy, you should forgive them and not think about it anymore. That's not easy, but God can help you do it. Do you know what a slave is? We don't have slaves in this country, in the United States, anymore. In Bible times, many people had slaves. Slaves were people that were sold to other people, and the person who bought a slave was the master, and he took the slave to his home and made him work. The slave had to do whatever the master said, even if he didn't feel like it. A slave didn't get paid for working. Onesimus was a slave. Philemon was his master. Onesimus. It's a hard word, isn't it? And Philemon. Onesimus did not like to be a slave, and he wanted to do what he felt like doing instead of what Philemon said he must do. He wanted to be free. And one day, Onesimus ran away from Philemon. He probably even stole some money from Philemon when he left. Onesimus ran far, far away to a city called Rome, where Philemon couldn't find him. And after Onesimus lived in Rome for a while, he heard of a missionary named Paul, and that Paul was preaching. Paul said that everyone had done bad things, and God sent Jesus to die for people's sins. Onesimus knew he had sinned. He believed what Paul said, and he asked God to forgive him. Now Onesimus was a Christian. Paul likely said to Onesimus, "You must go back to Philemon and tell him you're a Christian. You must be Philemon's slave again if he says so. You must not run away anymore. God wants you to obey your master. And I know Philemon. He's an old friend of mine. I will write a letter and ask him to forgive you. Take my letter to Philemon, and when he reads it, I think he will do what I ask." Don't you think Philemon was surprised to see Onesimus come back, bringing a letter from his friend Paul? Slaves who ran away never came back unless their masters caught them. Philemon read the letter. This is what it said. "Dear Philemon, I am writing to ask you to forgive Onesimus. He heard me tell about Jesus, and he is now a Christian. He will come back and be your slave again if you want him to. He is my friend, and I would have liked him to stay with me here in Rome. But you are his master and must say what he should do. I will pay anything Onesimus owes you. Perhaps God wanted Onesimus to leave you for a little while so he could hear about Jesus. Now Onesimus is not just your slave, he is your brother, because God has forgiven you both. Love him as a brother. Treat him as you would treat me. Your friend Paul." Do you think Philemon forgave Onesimus and treated him kindly? What was the name of the slave? What a tough name. Onesimus. What was the name of his master? Philemon. What did Onesimus do? He ran away and probably stole money. Whom did Onesimus meet in Rome? Remember? Paul. And how did Paul tell Philemon what had happened to Onesimus and how Philemon should treat Onesimus? He wrote a letter for Onesimus to give to Philemon. Remember? Our memory verse this week. My paper blew away. And my fan running. Our memory verse this week is "Blessed are the merciful." Matthew 5:7. I have a little story for you to read to hear. Okay? Giving forgiveness. The Miller family sat together in the living room, and the twins, Don and Ron, were putting puzzles together. Daddy played with baby Susan while Mother wrote a letter. As the boys worked, they were very busy talking about their neighbor friends. I'll never ever let Bobby play with any of my toys, said Don. That will teach him not to mess up other people's things. Today he wanted to borrow my book, Ron said, and I said, no way. I don't want my book ruined. It would serve him right if no one ever played with him again. Just then, Daddy asked, what is this I hear? Both Don and Ron began talking at once, but Daddy held up his hand and said, whoa, hold on, one at a time. Ron, who are you talking about? It's Bobby. He's always asking to play with our things, and he always messes them up. Always? Daddy asked. Well, no, not always, said Ron, but lots of times. The last thing he did, piped in Don, was to ride Sammy Brown's brand new bike, and after Sammy went in for supper, Bobby threw it down behind Mr. Brown's truck. After dark, Mr. Brown had to go to a meeting, and he couldn't see the bike, and he ran over it, and it's ruined. Was Bobby punished for it? Asked Daddy. Yes, answered Don. His dad made him take the money he was saving for his new bike and give it to Sammy, and now his dad is keeping his allowance until there's enough to finish paying for Sammy's bike. Then he can start saving for his own bike. I think that's a very painful punishment, Daddy said. You think it's right for you to keep on punishing Bobby? Well, Don and Ron said together. Have you boys studied your Sunday school lesson? Daddy asked. Do you know what it's about? Forgiving others, replied Don. Why should we forgive others? Because Jesus forgave us, said Ron. Yes, Daddy said. Now tell me, did Bobby wrong you, or was Sammy he wronged? Oh, not us. It was Sammy's bike that got smashed. Has Sammy forgiven him? Daddy asked. Yes, Bobby asked him to forgive him for being so careless, answered Ron. Now how do you think Jesus feels about the way you've been treating Bobby? I think we need to ask Jesus to forgive us for being so unkind to Bobby, said Don. And I think we better call Bobby and ask him to forgive us for being so unkind, added Ron. So they learned that they need to be merciful. They need to be kind and they need to be forgiving. And if you have the book this week, it's this picture here. Okay, you see it? It's the little children that are playing. See? He knocked over the blocks. And rather than being angry, they worked together and rebuilt them. It's a lot of forgiveness there, huh? Well, you have a good week. And you remember to be merciful, okay? Be kind to others and be forgiving, okay? You have a great week. Bye-bye.